it's like when we go live, you guys start barking. You guys are jerks.
Well, welcome. That was the most perfect timing. Literally, the minute that we go on screen, woof. Well, hello, woof, right back at you.
Filthy mongrels. In case you didn't notice, I am not at home. I am dog sitting.
Oh, it's one of your many homes.
Here are the dogs.
They were looking
There's
at
one
like,
more. He is over there.
Oh, he looks like he's the one that just got yelled at.
So yeah, I'm not at home.
Well, welcome everybody to Amber dog sitting and me just kind of being in the giggliest mood right now. It's fantastic. And we are the Broadway Fan Club, and this is our podcast. And we have a very special guest hanging out with us backstage, and I'm going to bring her on right now. And here she is.
New friends.
Casey!
Hello!
You guys might remember Casey, who joined us for the Broadway cruise wrap up. Casey is actually going to be our girl in the booth. So as long as she is able to do it, because she also has a really cool job as a flight attendant. Hello. One day I'll earn a buddy pass. Yeah, her first rule is I don't let anybody borrow a buddy pass because I don't ever, like, even her own parents. It's great. But she is going to be doing as much as she can to take a lot of the admin work during the show off of Amber, because if you guys recall, Amber usually spends the first 20 to 30 minutes of every show sharing to all 102 of our groups. So Casey is being broken in tonight. So everybody say hi, Casey, and thank you, Casey. And
you're welcome.
Good luck, Casey, and we'll catch up with you in a little bit.
Alrighty.
Bye. I love this girl power, man. I was never like super feminist, but I'm like, heck yeah, we're a bunch of kick-ass girls running the show. So it's great. But yeah, this is our Tony's Talk. We had so much fun with it last year too. Also, can you believe we've essentially been doing our podcast for a year?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
I was also looking at our Lost Boys fan club. And it was over a year ago that I created it. It's not even coming out till next season.
You made it on a hope and a prayer.
I was ready for it. I was so ready for it. I love it. Casey, she messages me already. This is training night. I'm gonna call her out. She's like, what are you guys talking about tonight? Talking? Do I need to text you? I'm watching her smile backstage. This is our Tony's nomination evening. Tony's Talk. And not Tony, my ex, but Tony's, like the biggest night of Broadway. So we are talking all about who we would like to see have the nomination, because guess what, kids? Tony nominations are coming out in the morning. Holy moly. That's extensive. That is, how are we already here? Like, I remember last year where I
feel like I was doing so well, like keeping up with seeing all the new shows. Like I was doing so well. Like I saw everything. And then all of a sudden, like the universe like shout out like 100 new shows. And now I haven't seen like half of the season.
4 shows. Was it 4 shows that opened up this past weekend alone?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know. I feel like I can't even like voice my opinion on half things because most of the things I'm not seeing for months.
That's fair. And even me who sees shows like every 5 to 6 weeks and like, hi, Jeffrey Cohen. But every 5 to 6 weeks and I'm seeing like 5 or 6 shows and I'm not really repeating a show unless it's Little Shop or Cabaret. And I still couldn't catch up.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's pretty crazy.
I was in New York until last night. And so I am still tired. But I did my best. All I wanted to see were brand new shows. And I still didn't get to see everything I wanted to see. Amber got to see a new show. It was the first time we've been in the city together where we saw different shows. Mm-hmm. But at least we got to have dinner together. So that was good.
True.
But do you want to tell everybody what show you got to see on Friday?
Yes. And can I tell everyone my favorite moment about meeting up with you?
Okay. Yes. I already know where it's coming.
I saw Oh Mary with my friend.
Oh, Mary.
Because I had plans to see it with her for a while. And I meet up with Heather. And Heather goes, so that's like the real story of Mary Todd Lincoln, right? And I was like, No, Heather, absolutely not the real story of Mary Todd Lincoln.
Let me live in my fantasy world here, Amber.
The furthest, it is like the furthestly historically accurate thing that I've ever seen in my life. So ridiculous.
Shut it. Also, I love it. Sorry. Christopher Levy, by the way, I'm already RSVPing for your Tony's party. Make that officially known. There it is. She's trying to find the video on all Facebook shows me as a group. But Tony for best performance by a dog at the start of a live stream. Yes. Woo! Good job, puppy. So, yeah, shut up. That was also when I was physically stuck at the stage door for Boop. But that was also because you had just gotten done recording the infamous Sunset Boulevard walk.
True. So I got out of Oh Mary and I looked at my watch and I was like, by George, I think I have time.
And she messages me, I'm going to go take videos of the walk. And I was like, the walk. Oh, the walk. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, I have to do it. And my friend was like, what are we doing? And I was like, we're just going to stand outside this theater for a few minutes because it's really important to me. And it was like Diego's like second to last night. So everyone was like cheering.
And that was not the night that he had Junior's cheesecake brought to him, correct?
That was not the night that he had Junior's cheesecake during the walk.
Also,
and did you see the video that I shared to the Sunset Boulevard group of him playing As If We Never Said Goodbye on the cello?
Yes.
Triple threat. Acts, sings, plays the cello. Like, come on.
Dances.
Quadruple threat. You're right.
Quadruple threat.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, 100% incredible. Yeah, I want to hear more about O'Mary because you bought these tickets like 6 months ago and you only bought them because you said, very smartly, may I add, well, it's going to be closer to the Tony's time. And although Cole's not in it now, he will be back.
Right. I was like, they might come back because it'll be like right before the Tony season. They'll maybe want another chance for Tony voters to see them. And voila. I did it.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I did it.
And you did it. And you got to see those bratty curls. And I'm very jealous. But yeah, I had a whirlwindy trip, didn't I? Went up Thursday, helped open up a show. Friday, I did Boop. I won lottery for Boop. Let me tell you guys. And it was like, I want to go see the show. And it's Boop. And like, I don't know what they're going to do with it. It's on the top of my list. It's one of my top shows. It was so freaking fun. It's a brand new show. Like, it's a new Boop story. Jasmine, who performs as Betty Boop, she has to be nominated. She has to be. So, and it's her freaking Broadway debut, y'all. Her Broadway debut. Incredible. But the costuming, the design, oh my God. Seeing Pudgy, I didn't even grab my Pudgy because I had to buy him. I had to get the little plush so much. But Philip Huber did an incredible job not only building Pudgy, but also performing. It was so stupid cute. It was uplifting. I still have, if anyone's seen it, the top of the second act, Where is Betty? And I'm not going to give anything away, but I'm going to tell you Amber, I think I rambled about this for 20 minutes at dinner too. They start off and they're in like grayscale, so black and white and grayscale. And they're like doing this whole line and tapping and dancing and singing this really catchy song. And then they rotate and they're literal costumes from everything from hair, makeup, costume design, the hats that they're wearing, the shoelaces turn into color and then back. Yeah. And they do this and you're just like, holy crap. Yes, Jeffrey, exactly. Boop second act number, one of the best, 100%. And I was like, this show was so damn good. And the house management staff was on top of it. the merch staff was like, every single person was so good and so accommodating. And the lottery seat, and guys, I don't know where they usually have the lottery seats. I won the freaking lottery of the lottery seats, second row center orchestra aisle. Mind blown. But the actor Steven, who plays Grampy, is actually in our group, so it was a pleasure to meet him at the stage door and to talk to Philip Huber, because one of his dear friends, David, is in our group. So it was so nice. Everybody was so cordial. Jasmine didn't come out, but everybody at the stage door was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Am I too close? Am I okay?" But then like a rush of like little girls went up, which I thought was cool. And Amber's like, "Hey, I'm here." And so I'm standing at the stanchion, and I'm looking behind me across the street, and she's standing across with Casey, not our Casey, but her Casey. And I'm like, I'm messaging her, and I'm like, "I'm trapped. There was a wall of people around me. I couldn't get out." I was like, "Well, I guess I'm here for a few minutes. Sorry." And then where did we go for dinner, Amber?
Oh, of course, we went to Dee Dee's.
That was the only visit I went to Dee Dee's all
A
week.
little cheap and cheerful.
Yes. Oh, so good. But yeah. So what did you think of O'Mary, besides the fact that you were already obsessed with it? Also,
So
I'm gonna just not rub this in anybody's face right now.
I've been in the dumps. I've had the sads.
You have had the meeps and the moops and the sads.
Yeah, I've been a little bit stressy depressy.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
So to quote Madeline Ashton, it feels so good to laugh again.
And was it just like silly, goofy, or talk to me? Like, if Cole and the crew over at O'Mary get the noms, like, where are we at? What are we thinking? As I eat my spring fleeing cookie from Schmackers.
What do you mean? What am I thinking?
Like, do you think Cole's gonna get nominated? Do you think anyone else is gonna get nominated? Are they gonna get the nom for the best play?
I think they will definitely get nominated for Best Play because of how momentous their impression on this season was. You cannot deny that O'Mary has left its stamp on Broadway forever.
Yeah,
and yeah, Cole has really just been a complete standout. So I think I do think that they're going to be stiff competition to beat.
Well, let's remind our friends at home that are playing along what new plays came out this year and what are eligible, just to remind everybody. So you have, and remember, just because a show is not currently playing does not mean that they are not eligible. So eligible new plays, All In, Comedy About Love, Cult of Love, English, Good Night and Good Luck, Job, another one of your favorites, John Proctor is the Villain, Left on 10th, McNeil, O'Mary, of course, Purpose, keeping in mind Stranger Things, The First Shadow is also considered a play, The Hills of California, The Picture of Dorian Gray, and The Roommate. So there's a lot of contenders out there, but I definitely think Cole is, they have to be in the running. They have to be.
Oh, absolutely. And I do think that John Proctor is going to get a nomination as well. I firmly believe that. Absolutely.
No, we really didn't get a chance to talk about John Proctor as the Villain. You saw it a couple of weeks ago. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. It left a serious mark on me. I thought about it for weeks.
Yeah.
If not like a month, still thinking about it after I saw it. It was absolutely empowering. It was it was really just like very strong piece.
Do you want to give like a cliff notes for people who know nothing about the show?
Yeah, so it's about high school students who are studying the Crucible during the wake of the Me Too movement and things that are happening in their small town in, I believe, rural Georgia are kind of echoing the sentiment of the Me Too movement. So there are parallels being drawn that they're facing within their own communities that they're kind of having to deal with, that also parallel things that are going on in the Crucible while they are.
It's kind of eye-opening, like, oh wow, this is actually happening.
Right. Yeah. I loved it. I thought it captured like high school brilliantly. Like I thought it was just like I loved it.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's important to have something different. Like, just, and I see like some of our comments say like, it wasn't my favorite. That's what's important. I read something today. I'm going back to Christopher Levy's comment of, I'm hoping the nominators will have better taste than Adam Feldman or Jesse Green. Jesse Green, New York Times, snubbed Sunset. But what he did do right was made a comment to somebody, and I thought it was really important because somebody was like, Mr. Green is obviously not a fan of Sunset Boulevard. And then like went on saying like Nicole Scherzinger gives a performance of a lifetime. And what Jesse says, I really appreciate it because it's smart. I'm glad when we can have fun while respectfully disagreeing. So just because you don't agree with it doesn't mean that, that person's on the wrong or the right for sure. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a plays girl. It takes a really special kind of like show for me to sit and not be singing along. But Amber, you do really well with plays. So
yeah. And can I just like pop in with like pepper and like some Sunset Boulevard news?
Pepper it up while I am eating my cookie. I purposely waited all day to rub this in your face. Sorry, I love you.
Do we know who is at Sunset Boulevard?
Glenn Close.
Do we know? Glenn freaking Close. And she loved it. So I think, who cares about the Tony? Glenn Close loved it.
Did you hear who was at Smash?
Loved it. Patty LuPone loved it. Glenn Close loved it. Like, who cares?
Did you hear who was at Smash?
I don't think so.
Lin-Manuel Miranda with his dad.
Oh, that's cute.
Did you hear who was at my matinee of Just in Time on Sunday?
No.
Tom Hanks.
Oh, I did hear that. I did hear that. For some reason,
I like ran into him.
For some reason, when you said Just in Time, my brain heard Facings.
Oh God. Nope.
And I was like, why didn't you tell me that?
No. Nope. No. All right. So Friday we got covered. Saturday, let's move into my Saturday. Your Saturday was not as exciting as mine.
My Saturday, I came over to these bozos' house. I've been with them ever since.
Well, Saturday I left the hotel in Fidei, so staying in the financial district, and I decided I needed to move back to Midtown. I was like, all right, I gave it a try. Not a problem. The officer was there for Juliet. Yes, on Sunday. Is that what you're referring to? Yes, Juliet. If that's what you're referring to, she says, stop it. Is that who the officer was there for? Yes, we'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, so Saturday I hauled all of my shit from Fidei to Midtown. I dropped it off at the new place, and I immediately went over to try to get rush tickets for Pirates, the Penzance musical.
It was sunny, right?
Huh?
It was sunny, right?
It was sunny?
Yeah, on Saturday.
It was sunny on Saturday.
I'm just kidding. It was downpouring.
No, during the day it was sunny and felt like it was 95 degrees because all of the rain was staying inside of the air.
Ah, okay. It was pouring all day here.
Yeah, no, it was hot. Like, I live in Orlando. It was hot and sweaty. But no, it was sunny Saturday. But I go up, there's a couple that are standing in front of me, and I'm like, wow, there's no rush line. And we're standing for like 15 minutes, and some guy's taking a picture of the door. He goes, yeah, they're out of rush. And I was like, I didn't get the digital rush, so that makes sense. Well, as I have hiccups, well, I might see. I might see if I have something. Because my goal going into this weekend was I want to see Pirates during the matinee on Saturday and do Dead Outlaw Saturday night. That was my goal in my head. I don't know why, but that's what I decided. So I said, all right. So I went to go to Rush. There's no Rush tickets, but Box Office had an incredible seat at a very good price, and I got to see it. And I got to meet Zephora, who is their house manager, who is delightful, and Oscar, who is like security / usher. He's been there for like 21 years. He wants to be on the podcast. He asked for a card. I love it, simply because they know so much about the history of the theater. I was invited to, so it's a Roundabout Theater Company production. So I was invited up to like the VIP lounge, because if you're a member, you get up to the VIP lounge. I got Amber a Pirates cup. I'm so excited. Yes, excited. She won't let me buy her like a magnet from any shows unless she's seen the show.
That's true.
I know. But it's like this New Orleans spin, and it's for me and Karen Lou, like literally just jumping all over the place as a Pirate King. And Jinx Monsoon is there, who is eligible to be nominated for a Tony, and it's really fantastic. But David Hyde Pierce with the freaking patter of the Major General, holy crap. The set design was fun because it was like that classic, like golden age of Broadway, but with the modern twist in it, like the pirate ship coming in was very cool. And it takes place in New Orleans, which how could you not love that? So got to see that, enjoyed it. It was interesting because the crowd was a little bit older of a crowd. And like some of these old people can like party because they were just pounding back alcohol and hitting their vape pens during the show. So that was cool. That was a fun thing I learned. And then Saturday night, I had gone over to the Longacre to go see what there was available for Dead Outlaw. Mm-hmm. And I got, quote, Dead Center Orchestra for a very reasonable price. And I was a very happy camper. Thank you, TKTS booth. Always takes care of your girl. And my goodness, if Dead Outlaw doesn't win 5,000 Tonys, I will be shocked. Shocked. Now, Amber, do you know much about that show?
Which one? Dead Outlaw?
Dead Outlaw.
I know it's like based on, now I'm gonna fool like myself. It's based on like a real guy, and I know that
it's the opposite of a Mary.
And then I know that for like the first like exceptionally long time, Andrew is like motionless.
Second part. So, and Christopher Levy, I see your comment. Chris is asking if we go Dead Outlaw versus maybe Happy Ending. I will hit that in a second. So Dead Outlaw is a show about Elmer McCurdy. It's a true story. And it shows his life. And God, Andrew Durand, like I saw him in Shucked. He pulls his own weight. The house band, which is also the narrator, which is also part of the show, and the set design, it's so simple. And if anybody recalls, the Longacre is also where Swept Away was. So it has an intimacy to it. It's really lovely. But it's a cool like box, and it's a stage that rotates, and it works so well. It plays a train at one point. And of course they're doing the bouncing thing like Water for Elephants did. And I love that. But they go through this whole story and like how he was kind of a failure as being like an outlaw. And he finally does something. He pisses off a bunch of people. He gets shot and dies. And because he had changed his name so many times, there wasn't anyone to claim him. So this is a true story. So the coroner decided he was going to embalm him with arsenic to keep him around a little bit longer because he wanted to make his money back. And then people started to come in from all over the country to look at the dead body of a dead outlaw and started charging and became really greedy. And then started selling the body, and the body was being moved around. So yeah, it's a 92-minute show. There's no intermission. But once Elmer is shot and killed, Andrew is standing in a coffin with his hands like this. And at one point they talk about the body like zombifying. So he shrinks them up a little bit more. And I'm like, your hands must hurt so much. Or like I hope there's some kind of support. But he is just in this coffin, just facing everybody. And you guys have seen it online, I'm sure. But the songs are really fun and catchy and tongue-in-cheek. But it's a true story. And like, I'm not giving it away because this is really a true story. The way that his body was discovered was like in the 70s. There was a dark ride in an amusement park, and they were shutting down. And there was a body that was hanging, that was a prop, like that was day glow red, like glow in the dark red, like in a noose. And when they took the prop down, a part of the fabric ripped and they could see male genitalia and realized it was an actual body. And this poor man went through this whole thing after death of just being sold. So it was really interesting to kind of see his like soul be put to rest. But it was so good. And even during like the solemn parts, there was like a lot of tongue in cheek and a lot of fun. They like literally covered his grave with concrete. This is a real story. And all you have is like the little chute that beep, 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 and pours the concrete down. It's very fun.
I heard that the pose that Andrew does in the coffin is based on a real photo he saw of Elmer McCurdy,
yes.
like with his hand, like in a certain specific way.
So when they were touring the body as part of a wax museum, they decided to hang a shotgun across the way. So technically he's supposed to be holding on to the shotgun, but then his hands started to shrivel back. So they were kind of like a Thriller kind of style. It's so cool. And the history behind it, and the cast was just delightful. Like I stage doored, obviously. That night was freezing cold because it rained for a hot minute and then the skies exploded and then it was like 40 degrees. And I was soaking wet. So that was fun. But everybody was so nice. Andrew didn't come out, clearly. And that was because they had opening night the following night. So, which went spectacularly as well. But yeah, like I'm rambling, but I'm going, I really did love the show so much because it's like just up my kind of like beat of what I like. Chris, to answer your question, Dead Outlaw versus maybe Happy Ending, totally different stories. I want Dead Outlaw to win something. I know, and maybe Happy Ending, I think is going to go farther, but I think that that's because they've had a much longer run thus far, and it's not based off of anything. It's an original IP, but I love the way that Dead Outlaw makes this show what it does and really celebrates the life of this guy who really kind of got the short end of the stick, for sure. So that was that. And then Sunday, I did my Just in Time matinee. And I will tell you guys, I went on Telecharge the night before I left to go to New York and spent 45 minutes being kicked out of Telecharge's website because it was the last seat in the house. And it's in Circle in the Square, which Amber, you and I have been to for Romeo and Juliet.
Right.
And the theater is so intimate. I literally sat the last row, but it was center orchestra because there's two smaller stages. And it's like, from one end to the other. And it was perfect seats. And the show is amazing. And there was a couple sitting next to me who kept gunning on their phone because there was a problem with their dog, whatever. I bought the most unique souvenir that I've gotten at a show thus far, which says a lot. It was a set of rocks glasses with different Bobby Darin songs.
I want the matchbooks, to be honest.
Didn't have any for sale.
They're on the website.
Oh, I believe it. They just didn't have anything there. Probably they can't sell it in the theater, maybe. I don't know.
I think they're adorable.
I think they're cool. But yeah, no, I got the glass cups and they didn't have the Romeo and Juliet water bottles, but they did have the plastic cups. I know those were cool.
Every show should have the water bottles.
If you don't remember what
we're talking the show, about, we're done. We're closing. We're done. We're ending the night. We're closing up shop. We're done. I'm done.
Romeo and Juliet had metal, very similar to my SNL, but they were like, what, $8? And it was a reusable water bottle that had the logo of the show. I will say, Circle in the Square does have a reusable water bottle. It's white. It says I Heart NY on it. But I think every show needs a logoed water bottle for sure. But yeah, it was really incredible. My God, the cast was incredible. Gracie, who's the assistant house manager that you and I met during Romeo and Juliet, she's still there. She's delightful. Went down to the accessible bathroom because I was not about to try to do stairs with my concussion. And I'm walking with a bunch of these older ladies. And all of a sudden this guy pops out and it took my brain a second to register. He pops out. He's wearing a Yankees beanie and a blue shirt. And he's talking to the security guy who brought us down the elevator. He goes, well, there you are. I was looking for you. And all of these older women go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. my God, looks like Tom Hanks. And I take a look and it's very clearly Tom Hanks. And then I'm like, oh yeah, kind of. And lady's like, what do you mean kind of? That is Tom Hanks. Oh my God. Like we're in the ladies' room and the whole conversation is, he must have lost so much weight. Oh my God, he's so handsome. It was the funniest thing ever. And I come out and he was, I think, in the green room downstairs is what it was. But then everybody at the stage door started realizing that while they were looking at the videos they had taken during like the mega mix, which you can actually record and I'll be posting in our group, that Tom Hanks is in their videos. They're like, oh my God, Tom Hanks is there. So yes, to answer Juliet, your question, yes, Tom Hanks was there. NYPD was there for extra security. Most of the cast came out. Jonathan Groff did not. That's kind of a normal thing. And I stood next to the loveliest mother and her daughter who are big fans of ours, which I thought was cool. But the daughter, she is going to double major in theater. And every time somebody came out of a stage door from the show, she's like, oh my God, you were in this show. Oh my God, you're this. And like one of the actresses was in Gilmore Girls. And she's like, oh my God, you're Francie from Gilmore Girls. And the girl, it was just like so freaking cute. Hold on. Blah. Oh, Casey has been blowing us up in our private chat and I just noticed it. Okay. All right. Thank you, Casey, for all of the information. I appreciate you. Amber, do you see those as well?
Yep.
Casey, you having fun so far? Give me a good thumbs up in the back. Yay. She gave us a thumbs up. It'll just be really fun. It'll be a pub. Oh, Julian. Yeah. Okay. It was you. Yes. I was like, okay, good. See, I don't ever want to call anyone out. Yes, you guys were so much fun. And thank you so much for making that stage door what it was. And Amber is gone. Amber is gone. It's just me. All right. Well, Casey, you're hanging out until Amber comes out. Hi.
Hello.
What just happened? Okay, there we go. Juliet, you're so cute. Juliet says, you made Amelia's night for shouting outside. Are you guys kidding me? You guys made my stage door. Casey, you doing good so far?
Yeah.
How's it feel to be part of the first half of our show in the back? Welcome.
It's good. I mean, it's good because I can hear the podcast, well, like as background noise as I'm doing everything. So
it's better than the baby crying.
Yes. She's back there with Dad now.
Yes. Okay. Go back to your little corner. Okay, goodbye. But yeah, Julia, you guys were so wonderful at the stage door. So thank you so much. Like so sweet. And so smart. And it was funny because I was really cold. I was wearing a dress and I shoved my just-in-time cup into my cleavage because I had no place to hold it, but it kept my chest warm. So we had a good time with it. And then I left and dear friend to the show, Neil Bennington, photographer extraordinaire, wonderful, all around good guy, goes, you just need to show up at drag because you're going to come into the show. I said, it's like beyond standing room only for drag's closing night. And I was very fortunate enough to be invited in and did standing room only for the closing night of Drag the Musical. So sad. Amber, you good?
Oh, you did standing room? Yeah, I'm just doing the Miss groups.
Yes, by standing room, I was bending, I was leaning, I was sitting on the floor inappropriately for a second, but it was great. And it was like the electricity in that room was nuts, like nuts. I have videos to prove all of it. They dedicated the show to Jiggly Caliente, who unfortunately lost her life literally the day after having a leg amputated with sepsis. Like, poor dear.
Terrible.
But dedicated the entire show. And it was really cool because every time one of like the queens would come out, or Adam Pascal just got like the craziest amount of people ever. But every time somebody finished their song, it was a standing room only, applause. It was just nuts. And it was so cool to see. And yeah, even like walking. Oh, Ariel says to say hi. But it was just so nice to see our friends celebrated. Like really, truthfully, I got the poster that is the exclusive one-of-a-kind giveaway for our Drag the Musical group. That if you pre-save the iTunes or Apple Music cast recording or order it, show us proof of a screenshot, and you'll be entered to win this exclusive Drag the Musical poster that is signed by the entire cast, including Joey McIntyre and Adam Pascal. So make sure you do that. Check out our website, which is www.thebroadwayfanclub.com. It is being updated. I've moved some things around. I'll update more with some of our newer groups. We're up to 102 groups, Amber. Holy crap.
That's a lot of groups.
It's a lot of groups, but we love you.
That's a lot of groups.
Yeah. Yeah. Olivia, hi, my friend. How's your foot? How is your foot? For those of you guys that can't see all of our comments, we love seeing our regulars here. It's like walking into Cheers. But yeah, so, and then Monday I spent kind of, dilly-dallying a little bit, and I made my way out to the Bowery Ballroom to go see our boys at the Swept Away reunion concert. Holy crap. That was incredible. I specifically exchanged my tickets for the second show because I wanted to let the first show, that kind of super fan. A lot of people stayed for both. That room, Amber, my God, I wish you were in that room.
Do you know that I brought my mom back to the airport on Monday the 21st, and I put it on the drive to the airport because I was like, what's something that she'll kind of enjoy? Cause she listens to country. So I figured she'd like the Americana kind of vibe. So I put that on, and it ended as we got to the airport, and we're almost pulling up, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking cry. I'm gonna fucking cry at the end of this fucking album. That show just gets me right in the goddamn feels.
Yeah, it really does. And I mean, I will tell you, I was very fortunate. Shout out to Juliet, not our Juliet here, but another Juliet too. So double shout out. Venue manager over at the Bowery, who made sure not only my needs for accessibility were met, because it was elbow room I have with my concussion. I'm afraid of getting bonked in the head. It's just not fun. So she took very good care of us. I met this lovely couple. My God, Brittany and Neil, if they're watching, I love them so much. We spent the whole time hanging out. Neil knows every freaking word to every song. We were in the front. One of the co-pros came down afterwards.
Don't?
Huh?
You don't?
I do, but I'm saying every dial, every lyric, every spoken word, everything.
What do you got? Beans in your ears?
My God, you nerd. You have been listening to it. But I got some cool shots. And then Amber shared some photos from People magazine, and it was Spot Heather's head. So I officially am in People magazine, just the back of my hair. It was fantastic. I'm sitting at dinner last night, and I showed my mom. I was like, where's your daughter? She's like, right there. And I'm like, God damn it, Mom. But
nailed it.
It was so funny because we were primarily stage right, house left. So if you're facing a stage to the left, and dear old Josh Breckenridge, love him. He's heading over to the Apple Boys. He was right in front of me the whole time, but after, spoiler alert, after the crew dies and they're all just hanging out as ghosts, they all would sit down. So the main four, Big Brother, Little Brother, Mate, and Captain, would have their performances. So Josh was just sitting and hanging out with us the whole time. It was so much fun. But I took so much pride in being there and seeing our friends perform. Matt DeAngelis is on the other side, but I got to hang out with him and his wife Christine afterwards for a little bit, talk some Janice Jam stuff. The energy in that room. And I tried calling you, Amber, because I wanted to see if you wanted one of the limited edition posters or merch, but you didn't answer your phone because where your dog's sitting has no reception. But I did get myself a poster. But
it's okay. I don't really have space for posters or money for posters, but thank you.
But I did record a good portion respectfully. There was a photographer who told me she didn't care that I had a concussion and literally was shoving my hand out of the way and told me she was being paid to be there, so it didn't matter. And I was like, cool, thanks for trying to ruin the night. But this is a funny way of me trying to explain myself, which I think everyone is used to at this point. You ever go to a wedding and as the bride enters, everybody looks to the bride?
Yeah.
Okay. I like looking at the groom because that speaks volumes for the whole relationship. So while Stark and Adrian and Johnny, everyone's singing, I looked down to the audience and these people were so engaged and so involved. And then I looked right, Juliet? I looked back at like Josh or Matt's face or Cameron's face, and the look on their face was just like, holy crap. Like, I think they were so affected. And after speaking to half the cast afterwards, it meant so much to them to see how much people are still resonating with the show and still like so in love with the characters. It was so lovely to see. It was so lovely to see.
Did you read Johnny's letter?
No.
Someone posted it in the Swept Away group. Don't read it unless you want to just like sob.
Oh, I mean, that's kind of how the whole night is. But like he did make like a speech at the end, curtain call speech. Hold on a second. Christopher Levy already has Olive dragged down. I love it. Yeah, these boys were so emotional, and like I talked to Stark for a little bit afterwards, and like the look on, I think you and I both know, like between Adrian and Stark, like they're very emotional, like very, very, and they were so like taken aback. Adrian was getting swarmed. I think Stark was just there, like kind of taking it in, but it was just so nice to see like people that we are friendly with be so shown how much love they deserve. Now Swept is considered eligible for new musical. I'll read you the rest of the list because there's a lot of them. And I kind of want everyone to tune in and also shout out what you think. So new musicals that are eligible for Tonys. It's a lot. it's a lot. But it's not overwhelmingly a lot, but it's a lot. So you've got A Wonderful World, which is a Louis Armstrong musical, which was open like 2 weeks, right?
I think longer than that.
And then you've got Boop, Buena Vista Social Club, Dead Outlaw. So just in that, literally those Boop, Buena Vista Social Club, and Dead Outlaw are the newest. Death Becomes Her. Just in Time literally came in just in time because they came in the very last day of the season. Maybe Happy Ending. Operation Mincemeat. Real Women Have Curves also just opened this past week. Redwood, Smash, Stephen Sondheim's Old Friends, Swept Away, and Tammy Faye. So, and I know we were talking about it a little bit before, a couple weeks ago, but Swept Away is available for the rights. So if you want to put it on in your hometown, you can.
Make sure you join our group and show us how you do the ship.
Oh, yes, do the ship proud. I will tell you, there was a group of people who had the SS Little Boat.
I saw.
It was fantastic. And then there was another woman who literally, the ghosts of the ship are here. My whole background just fell. Well, that's fine. Scare the crap out of me. Hello, welcome to the ghosts of my apartment. But I don't know how she did it, but she created the little crochet of every character. So cute. So cute.
Super cute.
And this one girl was like so shy to give Adrian a bracelet. She's like, "Can I just give this to you?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." And she like flung it at him. But it was so intimate and so nice. And they sound better than ever. And my God. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. All right, let's get back into what other shows are eligible for Tonys. So let me pull up here. Musical revivals. So these are musicals that have.
Get there.
Huh?
I knew we were gonna get there.
Sorry. But it's not bad. It's not bad. So musical revivals, you've got Elf the Musical, Floyd Collins, which just opened up not even a couple weeks ago, Gypsy, Once Upon a Mattress, Pirates the Penzance Musical, Sunset Boulevard, and The Last 5 Years. So realistically, for revivals, it's not as many as it could be.
Right.
But I don't know, Amber, what do you think for revivals? Like, I had friends that worked as flyers on Elf. I never saw it. I'm personally, and oh my God, I'm going to get so much hate mail for this. I am not personally a Floyd Collins fan.
I think the category is dominated by 2 shows, regardless of who else is nominated. I think it's going to be a tight race between 2 shows.
I think it's going to be a tight race between 4.
Okay.
But I already know your two shows, Gypsy and Sunset.
Yeah.
But Once Upon a Mattress just had their their cast recording signing, and it was massive. And the powerhouses behind Pirates, I think, is also going to put it out of question. But I agree. I think Gypsy and Sunset, at least for between Audra and Nicole, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Oh, yes. Christopher Levy, I would love to see Elf get some love, especially Gray. I agree. I just think there's heavier contenders out there right now. I do. And Last 5 Years is limited, but, you know, you do have a good cast over there, too. And it's the first time that it's actually seen a Broadway stage. And also,
I don't think it got the best reviews, though. So
it has not.
Yeah.
But also, Boop hasn't gotten the best reviews, but every single person I've met that has gone to see Boop was like, oh my God, have you seen Boop? And like, that is not a show that some of these people, like, I would think would come out of their mouth.
Yeah.
And then we have play revivals. So play revivals, you have Eureka Day, Glengarry Glen Ross, which I think is going to just dominate. Home, Othello, Our Town, Romeo and Juliet also I think will dominate, and Yellowface. So keeping in mind that like Yellowface, Eureka Day, and even moving up to like Floyd Collins. Let me see if there's anything else that I've notated here. Those are shows that have appeared on Broadway, or this is the first time they're appearing on Broadway, but they've appeared in other formats before. So it'll be interesting. But yeah. I don't know. I know everyone's kind of shouting it out from the rooftops in the comment section. Like, I don't know, Amber, who do you think is going to be like up, or who would you like to see for Best Actor? Like you give me your category rundowns.
For Best Actor?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For Best Actor, I think it's going to come down to Darren Criss.
In a musical. Sorry, let me specify. In a musical.
I think it's going to come down to Darren Criss.
Okay.
I think it's going to come down to Andrew Durand.
Okay.
I think it's going to come down to Tom Francis.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Groff.
Yeah.
And then, as much as I would love it to go to John Gallagher Jr., I think it's going to go to Jeremy Jordan.
So it's funny that you say that. Because the New York Times has written their list, and I will read you through their list. I'll kind of start around the corner here. So for Best Actor in a Musical, there we go. Jesse Green has listed Darren Criss, maybe Happy Ending, John Gallagher Jr. for Swept Away, Jonathan Groff for Just in Time, Joshua Henry for Ragtime.
Okay.
And Jeremy Jordan for Floyd Collins. But Jesse is also infamously known for not loving Sunset. So I feel like Joshua Henry can be subbed out for Tom Francis, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, other suggestions that Jesse has had, but for Best Play, the Times is kind of going with Cult of Love, English, The Hills of California, John Proctor's Villain, and Oh Mary. For Best Musical, they're saying it's going to come down to Dead Outlaw, Death Becomes Her, maybe Happy Ending, Smash, and Swept Away. Best Play Revival, they're looking at Eureka Day, Our Town, Vanya, and Yellowface. Best Musical Revival, Cats, The Jellicle Ball, Floyd Collins, Gypsy, Once Upon a Mattress. Best Actor in a Play, Cola Scola, Oh Mary, Jake Gyllenhaal for Othello, Lewis McCartney for Stranger Things, A Foreshadow, Jim Parsons for Our Town, and Andrew Scott for Vanya. Best Actress in a Play, Laura Donnelly for The Hills of California, Susanna Flood for Liberation, Deidre O'Connell for Glass Kill, What If It Only Imp, Lily Robb for Ghosts, and Sarah Snook for The Picture of Dorian Gray. I think that's a sleeper cell for sure. And Jeffrey, yes, Ragtime is Drama Desk and not Broadway. I'm just saying this is what New York Times is like ultimate, like dream cast or dream list is for the Tonys. Let's see. And then for Best Actress in a Musical, they are talking Megan Hilty for Death Becomes Her, Audra McDonald for Gypsy, Jasmine Amy Rogers for Boop, Jennifer Samard for Death Becomes Her, and Adrienne Warren for The Last 5 Years. I believe what we discovered is that wasn't there something where Jennifer was like not supposed to be in the best actress, or are they sharing that category?
Jennifer.
Smart.
I don't know. They haven't announced it yet.
No. I'm saying you and I were talking about this at dinner. Like, I wonder if they're going to split it. I don't know. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
Because there's so many, like, there's multiple people in multiple focused roles. Like, you can't have Death Becomes Her without Megan and Jennifer.
Right.
Like, one is not the main performer over the other.
Yeah.
But, and Chris has a great question. Does First winning, I'm going to pull this up. Does First winning a best musical, and there goes the rest of my background. Everyone can see my garbage. Yay. Does First winning a best musical, Olivier, curse a Broadway musical at the Tonys, i.e. Groundhog Day, Back to the Future, and Operation Mincemeat? I hope not, because I'm going to tell you, I think Operation Mincemeat needs to be in there somewhere. That is such a phenomenal show. Yeah, it's funny. It's not serious. I'm going to pick this up before my antique breaks. Oh, this is going to suck. The facade is gone. That's fine. Ta-da!
Dogs, bark or something. Come on. Jesus. God.
You told them not to. That's why they're not barking. So the ghosts in my house are knocking shit over. It's great. But I don't know. I'm going to bring Casey in. Casey, I want your opinion. Prepare yourself. Stop picking your nose. Hi. You're on mute.
Yeah, I saw that.
She's learning the ropes. She's learning the ropes.
What am I coming in for?
Do you have any? No. What was the last time you saw a show?
On
Just so
Broadway?
Casey lives in Vegas.
On Broadway or off Broadway, or does it matter?
A show that was touring or on Broadway.
Okay. So I saw Kimberly Akimbo in March.
Okay, touring.
Touring, yes.
Very cool. Now, did you get to see Phantom in Vegas when it was there?
I did, but obviously that was a long time ago, so I was little.
Now I will tell you something. For anyone that's a Phantom fan, they definitely have to check out the Masquerade NYC group that we run, because see, your mom called you out.
My mom called me out. We saw Company back when I was pregnant, though. That was last year.
That's recent. But I took I took a subway and a walk over to Lee's art shop, which is where the new immersive Phantom is going to be. And it is very cool. I took pictures of the different articles at the front. I went into Nordstrom across the way to get a little bit of a bird's eye view and learn that the apartment complex next door had a better one, but their doorman was not the nicest person, and I was okay with just not having people be rude. But yeah, I don't know. Are you looking forward to the Tonys, Casey? Or are you just kind of... I know that you love Broadway, but you're not like me and Amber kind of Broadway.
I mean, definitely going to watch him, so... I've been kind of listening to what you were saying, and I'm like, I don't know any of these.
That's okay. All right. Well, you can go back into Casey's corner now. You're released. All right. Stand by.
Bye.
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 I'm just so glad that she's here to help us. This is fun. Look at my boxes of crap. Okay. And then yes, Jay says you're handling it so well, though. Yeah. I want this Tony season to go well. Tony's is very much a popularity contest, in my opinion. And it blows my mind sometimes. It's like a show that's doing so well. Like, let's talk Swept. Like, Swept's doing so well. They have fans months after they've closed that are just even more obsessed, and they're selling out of vinyls and they're selling out of this. It shouldn't have closed, but also like having conversations like what we were talking about with Matt when he was on the show a couple of weeks ago. Of shows are not meant to be open for 25 years. Like, that's not what Broadway is meant to be. It's meant to come in, surprise and delight you, entertain you, make you think, make you and then leave. So it's kind of fascinating that you know, these seasons, it just kind of feels like this weird roller coastery thing. And next season's already stacked. Like they're talking about Mamma Mia coming back. Lost Boys is coming out. Like it's great. Heathers is
Queen
coming
of
out.
Versailles.
Yeah, Queen of Versailles. A lot of the shows that we're at. Jay says, this is exactly how I felt about Lempicka. They were robbed. Yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing that when you have these shows that are like so poignant and then it's like replaced with something else. Billy says Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. So, you know, what do you guys think? Give us in our Peanuts gallery in our comments section. I can talk tonight. What do you guys think? Who would you like to see hit for best musical, best play? And I'm going to throw the same questions to me and Amber. Best actor in a musical, best actress in a musical, you know, best stage design, like set design, best music, like best book. What do you think, Amber?
I think
Let's go best musical first.
What are we doing first?
Best musical.
I think it's going to maybe Happy Ending.
I think so too. I would love to see that happen.
I agree. Yeah. I think maybe Happy Ending is just in a class above itself. Like it is just
it's a new
so
story
unique.
That makes you think. Mm-hmm.
It's just so unique.
Yeah. It's so unique and it's got a talented cast. My God, do they have talent. And it's simplistic, yes, yet it's high technology. It's great. Okay. Best actor in a musical.
I want my sweet baby angel Tom Francis to get it.
I know you do.
However, in my heart of hearts, are we saying who do we think is going to win or who do we want to get it? Because I feel like those are two different answers.
Both. Let's do both.
Okay. In my heart of hearts, I think it's going to go to Jonathan Groff.
Yeah. I want Johnny to get it again. I can also see it going to Darren.
Yeah.
I can see it going to Darren. I think he's been around the block long enough. I would love to see Jonathan Groff hit it with Just in Time. So we'll see for sure. I would love Andrew Duran to get it, but I don't think that would happen yet. He's almost there. Especially because, 75 minutes or 65 minutes of a show, he's just dead. No offense.
Yeah.
Okay. Best musical?
We did that.
I don't know. My brain is not processing.
We literally just did that 5 seconds ago.
I want you to do it again.
I'm gonna say maybe Happy Ending.
You're still gonna go through maybe Happy Ending. All right. I'm trying to see if you can do your mind because you really want Jonathan to win. But you also forgot about Swept Away.
No. I know. I did not forget about them. I just
I'm giving you an opportunity to change your mind.
I just think it's going maybe Happy Ending.
Let's go best set design.
Best set design. Ooh. Set design. Well, I haven't seen Boop. So I feel like it would be between Boop and Death Becomes Her.
Okay. I can get on that for sure. For sure.
Or also Swept Away.
Yeah, because of the ship.
Because of the damn ship.
Because of the ship. Yep. Yeah, no, I think so for sure. For sure. I want Swept to get something, and maybe it'll be like best lighting because it was pretty good. Pretty good. But Death Becomes Her could also be in that because of the stunt down the stairs.
Right.
So there's a lot to it. All right, let's go best choreo.
Again, that's a tie-up between Boop and Death Becomes Her, I think.
Yeah, because it's more the crowd pleasing. It's fun though because there is some great choreo in Pirates. Some great choreo. But I think Boop, because it is a lot of tap dancing, there's like integrated of like street dancing, like hip hop. It's really cool. Very cool, but it's like massive, this massive ensemble. Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a fun one.
What about director?
Ooh, I like it. Honestly, I could see Swept for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Mary Frances comes up with a new one, Mincemeat. I like it. Mince is great. But what would you do for mince? What would you say mincemeat would be good for? Okay. Best play. You're gonna go over
Mary.
it. Yeah.
Mary.
Over John Proctor.
Yeah.
Okay. And Olivia's coming in for best director, saying Jamie over at Sunset. I could see that.
I agree with Olivia.
For sure. So, I mean, I think there's a lot. We'll find out in the morning. We'll be keeping everybody very adamantly posted. I will be watching them live. Amber will probably be at the office doing the same thing and not supposed to be doing that. But we'll do our best to cover it as the announcements are coming out.
All right. Well, we did best actor. What about best actress?
I knew that was coming. No, I have a hard time with that, though. Hard time.
I don't care. So, I asked you first.
No, I don't like it. Best actress in a musical or play? Like best featured actress in a play? Best musical. Let me go to my list. Okay. I'm going to get so much hate for this. I hope I don't get hate for this. I'm going to say this. So before I saw Jasmine and Boop, I was down for Nicole. Even though I'm not a Nicole Scherzinger fan, I thought Nicole was going to get it over Audra. And I'm not leaving Megan and Jennifer out of anything. And I have not seen Smash to be able to say, okay, yes or no. And I haven't seen Last 5 Years to say, okay, yes or no. I think if I go based off of, you have a female protagonist, so a main character that carries the entire show and pretty much is in every scene, I would say Jasmine. I think Jasmine's got to do something for her Broadway debut. I want the show to do so well, but she is up there busting her hump every freaking scene, and it's incredible to watch. Incredible. I know where you're going with it. So, but I would love to see Jasmine win it. I think that Nicole will still take it. What about you?
Might I remind you, it's also Nicole's Broadway debut.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
But she's not tap dancing every 5 minutes.
All right, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
But go on.
Broadway debut. It's her Broadway debut too.
But go on. So let me hear your list.
You want all my nominees?
Yes.
I think it's going to be Audra and Nicole. I think it's going to be Helen J. Shen. Absolutely.
Yes, Helen is great. Absolutely.
I think Jasmine will get a nom based on everything you're telling me.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it will be a Megan or Jennifer situation.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Jay says, girls, stop fighting. And then Patty says, oh no, I missed your pick for best actor. I don't think we've gone over officially best actor, although we kind of did go over best actor. I think I kind of want to add John Gallagher back into the running.
Sure.
I want, in my heart of hearts, I want John Gallagher Jr. to get some sort of something playing mate.
I would love him to be nominated for best actor. Like I said, I would love
a nomination.
I would love it.
Give him a nom. I just want to add him back in for best actor. But to kind of wrap that, Patty, we were talking about Tom Francis versus Darren Criss versus Jonathan Groff, and then I'm adding John Gallagher Jr. in.
And Andrew Duran and potentially Jeremy Jordan.
Yes, all of the above. All of the above. And I mean, we could completely miss the mark and Christian Borle get nominated for Tammy Faye.
Right.
There's a lot of ifs and whats and whatnots. So I don't know either. And it's a weird season, guys. It's a really weird season because usually like Amber and I are like, oh, it's totally this. I think we're both going, I don't know. Like I want this, but like it could happen, but this, but I don't know. Jay, Tammy Faye. Tammy who? Yeah, that's fair. I heard of Christian Borle for the first time on the Broadway cruise last year. Casey, excuse me, you're coming back in the studio. Ma'am, you're on mute.
Yeah, I know. I need to just keep my mouth
that I get to give you shit right here and now. It's fantastic. Really? That was the first time you ever heard of Christian?
Yeah. Which is surprising because he was in Legally Blonde and I love Legally Blonde. So
yes, he was. He was actually at the Museum of Broadway yesterday when everything was wrapping for the search for Elwood. So Christian and Lauren Bell Bundy were there, and Seth Rudetsky. Faye says, "Casey, come out from under your rock." Seriously,
I'm sorry.
She's gonna go back into her Casey's corner over there, and we're gonna wrap up because it is 9:06.
Something.
Yeah, it's something. Do you know where your children are?
Yeah, mine's right behind me in there.
Yours is there, and Amber has furry children.
I have dog children, yeah.
I have ghosts. Yes, Jeffrey Cohen. Loved him in Little Shop. Damn right, I got to see Christian in Little Shop, and the first thing I ever said to him after the stage door when I saw him at the Broadway cruise last year was, I got to watch your 9.5-minute death as Oren at Little Shop. And he goes, oh my God, I am so sorry. I said, no, it was the best 9.5 minutes of my life. Julia, yes, he was in Some Like It Hot. He was fantastic too. And I have a fun story about that year's Tonys. I was walking out of juniors and Christian was a little bit inebriated walking the red carpet they had leading into the theater and was trying to take selfies of his friends that were in front of him. I kept kneeling down and falling over and burping. So that was really fun. Anyways, we have so much more to talk about. Casey, you hung in there the whole show. You didn't leave us in a cloud of smoke. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. My husband's hungry and he's like, when's dinner?
We're gonna end just to do that. Also some housekeeping for everybody. Is don't forget to check out our website, www.broadwayfanclub.com. There you can see our merch. We have our bracelet bonanza. Don't forget for your Tony's party, we can do custom bracelets. We can do all of the fun stuff. Amber's got all sorts of baubles and trinkets and whatnot. We have had a lot of people asking us where to go stay when they're staying in the city. So don't forget that you can use our code for the W Times Square, which is a Marriott property. It's E7103. You can also use that at the Westin Times Square off 39th. Both really great properties. Very appreciative to both of them for making sure they take care of our members for sure. But we appreciate you guys. We'll see you next Monday, which is Cinco de Mayo. We'll say hola, and I will probably be drinking a margarita. Amber, what's happening here?
Should we mention Broadway weekends?
We'll talk about that after the show.
Okay.
Yeah. It's coming up soon. If they've used the promo code that we had, they absolutely can use the promo code on Broadway Weekends. Go to BroadwayWeekends.com. But yeah, for sure, join us next Monday, May 5th at 8 p.m., where we are going to sit here and I'm drinking a margarita. Screw it.
I don't drink.
Yeah, you can have some tacos. Casey will drink if she has a drink package on. But we really appreciate you guys joining us for this midweek breakdown of Tonys. Definitely make sure you're following us on social media at the Broadway Fan Club, directly on our Facebook page, our Facebook group. If you go to our website, you can actually see almost all 102 groups that we're operating. And if you're on Instagram, it's at the B-Way, so B-W-A-Y. I cannot talk. B-Way Fan Club. And then you will see your Instagram, which is where we'll also be updating all the nominations in the morning. I am tired and I'm going to go get dinner. I hope that you guys have a great time going to sleep or staying up and making sure you don't miss the nominations. Casey, thanks for hanging out with us.
You're welcome.
I'm going to let dogs outside.
Okay, who let the dog out? Amber did.
Amber did.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Happy
night.
Wednesday. See you guys next week. Ciao for now.